Okay, I'm going to make a couple of videos. People have asked me about weight and weight loss and how I lost weight. And I'd like to start off by saying that I'm going to be more honest on these videos than I've ever been with anyone. Besides Kevin and Ashley, really no one else probably realizes the extent to what we've gone to lose weight. So I'm just going to be honest, and this isn't right for anyone else. I wasn't trying to be healthy. I was trying to be thin. So, and even today, my life, the way that I eat and the things that I do, my goal has not been health in any of this. It has literally been to be thin. It's all in the number on the scale. It's all in the clothes that I can fit in. You're not going to hear a lot about fruits and vegetables or anything like that. So this is how we did it, and hopefully you all will not judge me too harshly, because I am being honest here, and I've never told anybody the things that you'll hear today. So we started losing weight in 2007, Kevin and I. I started out at 214 pounds. Kevin started out, I have a chart here. Kevin started out at 250 pounds. Today, I weighed this morning, as a matter of fact, I weigh 137, and Kevin weighs right about 200 pounds. And I try to stay between 135 and 137. I'm comfortable with. I'm fine with that. I think last Christmas I weighed, last year, this started in 2013. Last Christmas I weighed like 10 pounds more. I got up to like 145. That, I hate to say it, but that's pretty typical for me during the winter months, because I start eating more. I tend to not count my calories, and I'll eat, you know, a lot of chili and cheese and meats and potatoes and lots and lots of sweet stuff. And I don't stay very accountable during the winter months. So anyway, this winter, it's almost Christmas. I'm still at 137, so I'm doing good. Kevin and I count calories. We only count calories. We don't look at fat, cholesterol, anything like that. We only look at calories, and we've gotten pretty good at knowing if you give us a food, we pretty much know how many calories it has in it. I'm going to show you this chart that Kevin made. He made it back in 2007, and hopefully, I'm going to try to film it, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. That's my name and his name. This is the weight that I started out at, and then this is, he put the dates over here. This is the weight he started out at. This is the total, what was that?
The week-to-week weight loss.
Right. This is how many pounds I lost for that set of weeks between April 30th and June 5th. I had lost 20 pounds. Is that right? That just looks funny when I said that. And then Kevin lost 23 pounds. And then these are the totals that we lost since we started doing this, since we started counting calories. So you can see we started April 30th, and then by August 17th, for example, within just a short amount of time, I was down to 159, Kevin was down to 187. I only lost 5 pounds that week. Kevin lost 6, but our total was, I had lost 55 pounds since I started, and Kevin had lost 63. And I got down, I'm going to scroll down the page a little bit. You can see we lost weight. I told Kevin we did like Biggest Loser type weight loss. Of course, they're doing it healthy. They're doing it, you know, fruits and vegetables and all that.
Yeah, there was my lowest right there.
Your lowest was 169, and that was by November.
167.
167. Sorry, 167. And that was November 16th. So we started at the end of April, and this was November. And my lowest was like March 14th was 125 pounds. So, and then we stopped keeping track of this chart. I just have this saved on my computer. We stopped keeping track of this. We skipped a year. Yeah, we skipped. Yeah, so we skipped all of two. But what happened was, I'm going to hand you the camera back. What happens is, once you're doing it so long, once you start counting your calories for so long, there's really no need for the chart anymore. The chart is so that, honestly, so that you're accountable. So that you can see that you're actually doing something, that you're actually, all the work that you're doing, the going with it. Kevin and I went without, we didn't go to a restaurant. We did not go out to eat at all for like the first, was it the first 6 months? 6 months, probably. First 6 months.
At all.
Yeah, we did not go to any restaurants at all. I think that's a pitfall many people fall into. Someone will invite you out to eat and you'll think, I'll eat smart, I'll eat good. You don't. You never do. And you're always eating more calories than you think you are. It's best for you to eat at home, you to eat your food. During this time, I had a sick relative that was in the hospital. We were at the hospital every day. We took our own snacks from home to eat at the hospital because that's another place where they have a cafeteria, they have free ice cream and all kinds of stuff. And so we took our own snacks so that we could stay on our diet. But people would invite us out to eat all the time, and we would say, sorry, we can't do it. And a lot of people cannot do that. But for us, 6 months, not even on the weekends. We did not have any treat days on the weekends. It was all diet, 7 days a week for the first 6 months, and that's how we did that so quickly.
And we offended a lot of people by saying we couldn't go out to eat either.
Yeah, it hurt a lot of people's feelings. People did not understand. I've always been overweight my whole life, really. I've never been, I've always been heavier than I should be. And so people in my family did not understand, this was a new Tammy, and they were used to the old Tammy, the fat Tammy, the Tammy that could eat anything, and so this new Tammy that's coming over, people were offering me food, and I'm having to say no all the time, and that was very offensive to my mother. My mother would offer me, she's a feeder, I'm a feeder myself, but she's a feeder too. When I would come over, she would want to feed me. She, offer me something to eat because that's what a good hostess does. And every time I came over, I know it would hurt her feelings because I would have to say, no, I can't have that. And she truly did not understand, but it was just something that I had to do for me. I had to stand my ground, and to this day, I'm glad that I did, because the minute you give in to that, if you are a food addict like I am, then the minute you give in to that, you just want more. I have a type of personality it's all or none. If I'm going to eat, I'm going to eat a lot. If I'm going to smoke, years ago we used to smoke. If I'm going to smoke, I'm going to smoke a lot. So I cannot give in to that stuff. So nowadays, I don't have the chart, but I do keep a journal. And this is just for me. Every day when I get on the elliptical, I write down the date. And I write down, when I first started the elliptical, I wrote down the calories that I used on the elliptical, and then I wrote down my starting weight. My starting weight was 146 back in March, and that was because when we moved in this house, I had not had a way to exercise. I had a treadmill. I didn't have a way to exercise, so I hadn't exercised in probably 6 months. So I had gotten back up to 146, and I knew that I had to do something fast. So Kevin graciously bought me and elliptical. And so every day, I didn't use it at first when I first got it, but now I use it 7 days a week. I'm on it. I'm on it for 35 minutes every single morning. If something happens to where I can't get on it in the morning, well, then I'm going to make up for it that night, and I make myself. It's not something that I like to do. People don't like to exercise, I don't think, most people, but I make myself do it. And every few weeks, now and again, I would write down my my weight. So I started out at 146 on March 16th, and then I didn't weigh again for a long time. On April 16th, a month later, I had only lost 3 pounds. So that's another thing I want to say. Don't give up. Don't think, just because I had only lost 3 pounds, well, I'm not going to stop exercising just because I only lost 3 pounds and maybe I wanted to lose more. You have to keep going. There were weeks here on this chart that we didn't lose any weight at all. That, I kept to my diet. I kept looking at my calories and all that, and I didn't lose any weight. There's one week here, April 25th, I didn't lose any weight, and Kevin only lost a pound. Well,
there's a couple times we actually gained weight too.
Yeah,
the negatives are gained.
Yeah, you don't give up, on everything and just start pigging out because you didn't lose any weight. It's still working. You just have to wait. So anyway, you can see I've kept track of this and kept track of this. Every single day I write in here, and the last time I wrote in here, I wrote 132, but our scale was broken. Our scale was like literally 5 pounds off. So that would make sense, honestly. You add 5 pounds to that, it's 137. That's exactly what I weigh right now. So I have maintained that weight of 137, but I have to work for it. So right now, I'm going to show you what I used way back in 2007 when I weighed 214 pounds. I'm going to show you what I used at the very beginning. Okay, this is the step program. It's a basic step. It was a set, and it was $20 or $30. You comes with this big step, and then it comes with these steps to place underneath. And this is a DVD, and I bought this at Walmart, I think, and I don't know that they come in this color anymore. I have since seen them in black, and I know you can buy them at Dick's Sporting Goods. But I think I've seen them in like black and gray, and it's the same basic thing. And I really like this lady. Her name is Kathy Friedrich. And you put the DVD in. And one thing I really, really, really like about this is that I'm at home. I wasn't at a gym. I was in the privacy of my own home. Kevin would go to work. Ashley would still be in the bed asleep because she didn't have to get up for school yet. And I would come out here, and it was in my old home, but I would come out and I would put the DVD in. And when I first started out, I did not use these at all. These stayed for probably the first, I want to say 3 months at least. These were put away in a closet. And when I first started, I could barely step up. I thought I was in pretty decent shape, but I could barely step up on this step. It took a lot of effort. And I didn't even, the DVD, the program is 30 minutes long. I only did the first 20 minutes. Every day I would stop after 20 minutes, and sweat would be pouring off me, and I stumbled, and once or twice I even fell on the floor. I would stop after 20 minutes because she started doing some complicated things, and I didn't get it right at first. So I thought, well, if I'm going to finish, if I'm ever going to go the full 30 minutes in this DVD, I need to pause it. So that's what I would do. I would sit on the couch and I would pause it, and then I would go slow, step by step, and sometimes I had to replay it over and over to do what she does, because to people that do this all the time, It's not complicated. To me, I had never done this step thing before, so it was complicated. It would be like me starting up Zumba right now. There's no way I could do those Zumba moves. But if you're in there long enough and if you watch them slowly, you'll probably get it. So anyway, the step, it's just basically, even if I didn't follow the DVD, if you just do this, if you do this for half an hour, then you're burning calories. So, I mean, and you're going to burn something even if you don't follow her DVD. But after 3 or 4 months, like I said, you add these, and you don't ever have to add these. But it helps, you know, it adds another dimension to your workout. And so then you're doing this. And you're kicking, and you're doing all kinds of steps. I don't remember what they are now because I haven't done this in so long. That was one of them. Oh, when you do this number. You do lots of this. And like I said, it's in the privacy of your own home. What else was I? Oh, and during this time, Kevin and I were walking too. Kevin did not do this. Kevin, this is kind of an aerobics, I guess, type thing. Kevin is not an aerobics person. So we walked 2 miles. How many times a week did we do that, Kevin?
Just about
every night.
At least 4 or 5 nights a week.
So because this was the only exercise Kevin was getting, I wanted him to walk every night. So every night we would walk 2 miles. And it wasn't fast.
But we didn't take the dog because he was really slow.
Right. The dog is slow. The dog would slow you down. Dogs have to pee and poop and all that, and you don't want anything to slow you down. You want to be able to do it, get it over with. So during this time, we were just walking. I was doing this every day. And then about 6 months into it, I want to say, we got a treadmill.
Because it got cold outside.
Yes, it got cold. Well, it got cold outside. We weren't going to be able to walk.
And we didn't want to walk around the track because it got boring.
Right. Yeah, a track, you're going around, and quite frankly, we got dizzy, and you're getting dizzy if you're walking on the inside track. So, at the point when I bought the treadmill, I was doing the step every morning for 30 minutes, and then I would get on the treadmill. And the same thing happened with the treadmill that happened with this, and that's, I didn't think I would ever get faster or go further, but I did. I know this video is long, so I'm going to try to shorten it up. But I started out, I would go I went from like 1 mile to like 3 miles, and then I got to the point where I was only getting on the treadmill like every 3 days, or I'm sorry, 3 days a week. I would get on the treadmill like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I would go like 5 miles each time. And so that's how we lost weight. And I haven't told you anything about the food, and I want to. That will be in a part 2 video. But just to tell you what I'm doing now, I am on the elliptical for 35 minutes a day. I go until I reach, you can go for as long as you want. You can, if you wanted to get on there until you used 800 calories, you could. My number is 455. Don't ask me how I came up with that. That's just my number. I'm comfortable with that. The program actually ends after 30 minutes, and at 30 minutes I've usually used up 400 calories, and for some reason it makes me feel better to go 455 calories. I don't know. So anyway, that's what I'm doing now, and I do that every single day. So now in another video, I will talk to you about the food that we used to eat when we first started out, and then I'll talk to you about the food we eat now. Something that I forgot I really wanted to mention, and I've never told anyone about this, only my husband and daughter know about this, honestly. Back when I was 30 years old, I was told I was diabetic. I had to prick my finger all the time. I had to take pills. I didn't take insulin, but I took pills for that every day.
And this was when you weighed?
this was when I weighed 214 pounds.
Right.
When I first started out, I was told I was diabetic. I was taking my sugar. I was taking pills for it orally. I was taking high blood pressure medicine, not because I had high blood pressure, but it was to offset a medicine that I was taking for high cholesterol. My triglycerides were high. I also had what's called diabetic neuropathy in my feet, and I would take pills for that. When I started losing weight, my doctor had no clue that I was going to do any of this stuff. That she had never even recommended that I lose weight, to be quite honest. She never got on to me about my weight. That's one thing I really like about my doctor, is she never said anything about it. But so the whole time I'm losing weight, I'm still taking all these medicines back then. So Kevin and I would go for these walks, these 2-mile walks, and I would feel almost like weak after I had lost so much weight. And it was because I was losing all this weight and still taking the same medicines. So what happened was, I went back to her and I told her, look, my sugars have been fine. I got retested. They drew my blood again and I got retested. And long story short, I was able to come off of every single medicine that I was on, except for the medicine for the neuropathy in my feet. To this day, I still take medicine for neuropathy, and I've tried to wean myself off of those, and I can't. I literally have pain in my feet if I do not take those pills every single day. But now when doctors ask me, or anyone asks me if I'm diabetic or what my history is, I have to say I have a history of diabetes, but I don't have diabetes. I'm not a diabetic any longer. So that is one thing. That's another thing about losing weight, that even though I'm only looking at calories, I'm not eating a bunch of fruits and vegetables and stuff, I was still able to come off of all those medicines. I do want to talk to you about extra skin that you have when you lose weight, but since this video is getting so long, I'm going to put that in the next video when I talk about the foods I eat.